Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between, good evening and welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 coverage. Tonight, we start the fifth and final week of stage number 1 with our Harmony Tier EU match, where the undefeated EU Scrimbucks are trying to keep their record alive against Snubbull Gold. My name is Balzi, and I'm joined here by Apathy on the cast and Hippie on the production. Apathy, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's fun to be able to explore outside of my North American region and head over to EU for today's match. So it's going to
Yeah,
be
this is
definitely
my
an
first
interesting match.
time. Good.
Yeah,
You heard
and
me talk.
also, yeah, apathy
Sorry.
would apathy would talk, but we have animal issues. But it's going to be interesting to see these two teams face off against EU Scrimbucks, your preseason champions, looking very dominant thus far, have not dropped the map in the regular season. Snubble Gold, on the other hand, having a little bit of a rough start. Their first win came in week number 1, and they haven't been able to really get that momentum shifting yet. So we'll see if they're able to make any sort of adjustments here and see if they're going to be able to take at least a map win, if not a match win, against the current undefeated giants of the Harmony tier.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, you'd be really happy to take home a map win, or even just some good play. EU Scrimbucks has been a dominant team, and they've been rolling through their stage one so far. And you don't have to win every match if you're Snubble Gold. You just have to win the ones that matter. So playing well here, improving, and just having a good showing against EU Scrimbucks is all you really need. You don't have to put too much pressure on yourself to try to get this crazy upset. As long as you improve throughout the match.
Definitely, and I think the hardest thing, especially for them, is that they are not going to be with their full roster starting off here. They do have
Hmm.
two ringers in the benches, right? Or they do have two ringers in the starting lineup right now, which obviously means that they won't be as synergized, but it could mean that it could turn the tide of battle. Of course, EU Scrimbucks, obviously, they have been a dominant force, and obviously, this roster has been really good. Elixir, Wallendas, Spadrak, all these sort of players here have been really good throughout the entire season. And I think it's safe to say that this is probably one of the favorites for the EU championship right now, even disregarding the fact that they already won the preseason.
Yeah, they are. If not the favorites, there are three teams that are 4-0, and I think those three teams have solidified themselves as a tier above the rest of the teams right now. And probably the favorites for champions within those three teams for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to be hopefully getting into the series here soon. We're going to be starting off with our first map of the week, which is Lijiang Tower, which obviously Lijiang Tower is the map that every team is going to be playing this week. So we're going to be seeing what Lijiang Tower has to offer and what these teams decide to roll out with. Obviously, it's a brawl heavy map, but anything could really work depending on how you decide to use it.
Yeah, you can play ball pharmacy. I've been seeing, at least in my scrims, a lot more hog and ball on control center with a pharmacy, which is really wacky, and I'm curious to see if either team will bring that out. But probably we'll see a lot of Symmetra, a lot of Reinhardt, maybe a little bit of six man too, depending on which map we get first.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what sort of map we do get first, as we're going to be heading into the game very shortly here. And it's going to be interesting. These teams, again, we talked about their sort of records, we talked about their sort of like rosters. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to adapt to these sort of different styles here as we're jumping into Lijiang Tower. Obviously, the first map is the big important map, and it can really determine how well the series can go. So we'll see which team is able to take advantage as we start off on Lijiang Control Center.
Okay, so this is generally the most standard brawl one. I'm curious to see if either team, if they are playing the brawl, if either team will go for a Sigma, because Sigma is often pairs well with the Junkrat when you play in White Room. We'll see if they go standard or anything wacky here. About to pick. Okay, so we do see a Sigma from EU Scrimbucks, contrasted to the Diva on Snubble Gold. So I'm really interested how that matchup will play out.
Yeah, obviously the big thing. Yeah, the big thing about that sort of composition is obviously the Sigma allows for a lot more poke, and you have that extra shield. The Diva allows you to be able to eat more grenades and be able to do a lot more damage overall. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these two teams adapt to different styles here as we get ready to start off here on Lijiang Tower. Deadriff already switching over to that Brigida as well, so it's gonna be interesting to see this sort of style
Oh,
coming out from Snubbull Gold, and now Snubbull Gold switching over to a Soldier and a Lucio, and already you see EU Scrimbucks is taking control of this white room already, so gonna be a little bit hard here for Snubbull Gold to try and push in.
yeah, maybe they could just rotate around, go like the long way out coast, and then touch point from there instead of trying to push through this choke here into the absolute barrage that Jackson is putting down on this
Already
Junkrat, forcing Lamp.
Yep, already, and these 6 will be the first to fall here on the side of Snubbull Gold. Elixir able to finish off the Reinhardt there for Snubbull Gold, and now Jackson gets that kill into Undergrid, and the picks just falling in the favor here for EU Scrimbucks. It looks like they will be winning this first fight, and eventually we'll be getting the first cap here on Lijiang Control Center.
It did look like there was a bit of a miscommunication, or maybe stage fright from the first feature, but we did see Deadriff switch Brig as the spawn doors open, bash out, and then walk back in and switch back to Lucio. So EU Scrimbucks got control of the white room very, very quickly due to this blip, and are going to be able to hold the choke quite ferociously here with the tire already.
Tire comes out from Jackson, is able to get Nailin, but Undergrid able to find the returning kill onto the Junkrat there, so EU Scrimbucks missing a lot of their damage. They need to rely on Elixir to be able to build up that beam and those charges to get that sort of damage. Window comes out from Lilu, but that's a massive shatter coming out from Wallendathos, able to get everybody on the ground for the side of Snubbull Gold. The beat comes out for Deadriff as well to try and counter this, and now suddenly Snubbull Gold starting to get some sort of advantage in this fight. The tire comes out here from Undergrid, just chasing down the Lucio, won't be able to find him, but still be able to find something from this, getting Jackson once again, and it looks like Snubbull Gold will be able to take the cap here on Lijiang Control Center.
Yeah, sorry about that. My cat knocked over my green screen.
Oh no.
um, yeah, it was a really good shatter there from Lendathos, but they were just a bit too low, and the soldier respawn got a lot of poke off, and a big shatter here from Pixies too.
Yeah, 4-man shatter coming out from Pixies, trying to get a lot of damage in, but he loses his life to the hands of Wallendathos. Now the push starts coming in from EU Scrimbucks after the beat was invested by Spadark. Now you see some EU Scrimbucks making any sort of move they can, and the picks are going in favor here for the Scrimbucks. They will be getting this point control right back into their favor here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start building up around the 50% mark. Snubbull Gold did get a good 20% or so, 20 to 30%. We'll see what they can make coming back, pushing into the flux of the EU Scrimbucks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this Flux goes into play here. Obviously, Snubbull Gold have some of their old ults. The Flux is used here from Animaloria. Looks like it wants to go on a flanking angle or try to just bait out Snubbull Gold a bit. Catches the Diva of Sculpin, but not a lot of damage done there, as now Snubbull Gold starts to slowly make their engage into the point with this bomb coming out from Sculpin. Unable to get any kills, but Nailin is also in the backline. Sculpin loses their mech for it, and now Spadark gets the kill on the Nailin. Tire from Jackson will finish out the fight, getting the kill on Undergrid, and just like that, that's another fight win for EU Scrimbucks.
Admaloria mid-flux, I think, caught that flank from Nailin, did see him running up there and was already in position back there to try to shield it off and eat it. So a really good attempt from Nailin, but unfortunately got red just a little bit there.
Oh, the shatter comes out once again by Wallendathos, able to get both supports on the ground, and Jackson finishes off the picks. EU Scrimbucks looking really good with that engage, and they're going to be winning here on Lijiang Control Center pretty decisively, though Snubbull Gold willing to fight it back when it mattered the most.
Yeah, I think we saw them put up a good fight, but some of the picks were a little strange. I don't, switching off the Symmetra after you've lost point makes a lot of sense. Soldier can be a little bit weird. EU Scrimbucks kind of played into that hand by walking through the choke that they were holding, but, if they just stood in that choke and refused to take poke, there wouldn't have been much that the soldier could do about it. We are going to see the same comp here from Snubbull Gold with a Junkrat still, which is interesting for this map, and a Pharmacy coming out on the side of EU Scrimbucks with Double Bubble.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be interesting to see here how these two teams react to this. Snubbull Gold running that Pharah Junkrat, so they want to have a lot of damage, not a lot of hit scan potential. It's gonna be interesting to see how they fare up. And already Wallen gets the first kill onto Undergrid. Already a big pick there, but Festix is able to get the kill onto Wallen back. So now it's even on both sides here for both teams here. You see Jackson battling out with Nailin on that Pharah, unable to get any sort of direct rockets, but Elixir is able to finish off Nailin regardless. Undergrid will get the kill on Elixir, however. So once again, it is even on both sides, but Scrimbucks might be in a little bit of an advantage considering they have that more damage. Ooh, big sleep coming out from Aiden onto the Reinhardt. The point is flipped in favor here for Snubbull Gold, but already you see EU Scrimbucks starting to pile right on top of them with this Pharah composition. We'll see if they're able to try and take this point as Adam Maloria gets that kill into Undergrid. Nailin, however, gets the pick off onto Aiden. It's already one support dead here for the side of Scrimbucks. Barrage comes out from Jackson, unable to finish anybody, only able to get that kill into Dead Rift, but now both supports are dead for the side of Snubbull Gold, and that's going to be the point flipping over in favor of EU Scrimbucks.
Yeah, Snubbull Gold's comp is a little bit weird. They were able to have point just because they have a Reinhardt and a Baptiste. They were able to get a lot more point presence than EU Scrimbucks was. But I'm not really sure about this unpocketed pharmacy. I'm glad that they switched off the Junkrat. I just the Pharah is a little bit weird. I don't think it's worth staying for Barrage, especially against another Pharah who can quickly deal with a Barrage.
Boop from Jackson almost boops off most of these and of Snubbull Gold as they head over to that white room now with this brawl composition, trying to gain some sort of control. But Adam Maloria has this grab, is able to pull it off. The shatter comes out from Physics, and already Elixir finds the 2K pulse bomb, making a third onto that Diva mech. And just like that, you're going to be seeing you Scrimbucks once again win this fight very decisively.
Yeah, really good Grav Pulse combo from them there. Maybe overused with the Primal there as well. I'm not sure how much that was needed, but they can always just nano the monkey and build that right back up. And unfortunately, with the Window and Shatter coming out, Snubbull Gold doesn't have really any ultimates. They're going to have to wait until they can get these 4 online before they can really do anything. And Nailin already falling low in the back.
Yeah, it was good rockets coming out from Jackson to be eliminating Nail in there, and the final pick from Aiden able to get that. Elixir goes a little bit low trying to get that Baptiste of Lilu, so they'll have to back up. But already Festix has found the main tank. The barrage comes out from Jackson. It's right in the back line, eliminates the Immortality Field, and Lulu will fall in the meantime. Oh, and Denver tries to get the beat out and dies in the hands of Jackson. That's 3 kills thus far for Jackson. Tries to make it 4, but Elixir will finish off the kill into Undergrid. And once again, EU Scrimbucks showing how they use these ultimates and showing their aggression level early.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate rotation of Double Bubble is it's just too good. You have so many options. Grab Barrage, grab Pulse, Nano Barrage, Nano Monkey. There's just so many things that you can do. Pulse from Elixir not going to be finding anything, but they don't even get the touch. EU Scrimbucks going to take the first map.
Yeah, you Scrimbucks decisively taking that first map there. Again, Snubbull Gold had some opportunities where they looked to be in the strong suit, able to take that point on Lijiang Control Center and getting the point first on Lijiang Garden, but they just need more stability in the aftermath. But overall, this Pharah of Jackson was just an absolute force to be reckoned with. Oh my goodness. It was very difficult there for Snubbull Gold to be able to make these sort of moves because they had to deal with these problems that were in their backline all the time and didn't have the counters ready for them. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they decide to choose here for their second map. Obviously, it's gonna be their 2 CP map. What they decide to choose and how they're gonna be able to respond to Scrimbucks.
Yeah, and some of these fights were close despite kind of a clear compositional disadvantage, and they were still trading picks out just off, good mechanics alone. So I'd like to see them, maybe lean into pocketing, especially Undergrid on that McCree or on that Cassidy, excuse me, was doing a lot. I'd like to see them maybe try to play around their hit scan player a lot more and build a composition around them instead of a composition around a ground Pharah, for example.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what they try to go for here. We're still waiting on these sort of moves to come in from both sides. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, no swaps from both sides, so we won't be having any sort of roster swaps throughout this entire series. But I definitely feel like Snubbull Gold. It kind of seems obvious right now that they are being struggled because of these ringers coming in play. Obviously, Dead Earth is one of them. Was the main support in that match and switched to the Brigida first. Wasn't on the Lucio to speed them out of that. And then you have Undergrid, who was doing the casting to try and counter the Pharah, but didn't really look synergized on the Junkrat as well. Synergy is everything, and I think EU Scrimbucks right now are beating Snubbull Gold in that synergy game.
Yeah, for sure. And they've got, the comps that show that synergy too. Double bubble, not really. It's a deceptively difficult comp to play with the amount of ultimate rotations and cooldown rotations that you need to have, and the synergy from EU Scrimbucks is definitely proving that they are able to play comps like that that are not quite as straightforward as Brawl might be. We are going to see Hanamura as the map pick, another one that lends itself to a lot of Symmetra Brawl. I'm curious to see if either team will try to play something like a Pharah on the defense, one of the known counters to it. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hanamura definitely allows itself for a sort of different style here. And it can allow for that sort of change in the sort of style that you're going to be doing here. And also, it can allow itself to a lot of different sort of moves. Like, obviously, Hanamura has multiple different strategies that you could use, especially coming to the defense. You can run that brawl with the Symmetra so that you can get back onto the point, or you can run the excuse me, you can run these sort of like double shield style that can allow for that different sort of poke. And now we're going to be seeing a swap coming in here. We're going to be seeing Svalpin swapped out for Krillo here on the side of Snubbull Gold as well. So they're going to be having a switch in that tank position. So we'll see if it sort of makes any sort of difference here as we are about to get into Hanamura here to start our second map. We're about to see what these two teams are going to come out with to see how well they're going to do.
Yeah, maybe this means that they Krillo better on maybe a niche pick like Roadhogger Zarya or even just Sigma, because we did see a lot of Diva from the other one. And it's going to be weird because I think Symmetra is really necessary on the attack. EU Scrimbucks not showing that right now. Going with another double Bubba comp, this time with a Widow and a Genji. Um, this is an interesting comp. I think the potential for this comp is very high, but Genji and Widow are not always the most consistent damage dealers. Um, so we'll see if they can build any good nanoblades or if Elixir can find any big picks on that Widowmaker.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Elixir switch off the Widowmaker after trying to go for an initial pick. Widowmaker obviously can work here on Hanamura, but it's not always the best sort of thing. So we'll see if they switch over to a Tracer or a Cassidy to try and deal with the Brawl composition that Snubbull Gold are showing right now with the Cassidy Reaper. High damage, high pick potential, wanting those sort of early kills here. So we'll see if it works. But as I say that, Elixir gets the headshot onto Lilu, already one of the big supports dead for the side of Snubbull Gold. Tries to get the pick up onto Deaderf as well, but is unable to do so. But now Undergrid starts to show up in the kill feed, gets 2 kills on that Reaper, and it looks like you Scrimbucks have to play a little bit passively now, and you see that Deaderf's just getting shielded for his life right now to make sure Elixir doesn't
Yeah.
get that headshot.
They do pick off Undergrid though. The Zarya flank
Oh my.
gets 2.
Okay.
Wow.
I did not have Zarya flanking into your team on my bingo card here for the EU match, but still, already Adam Aloria getting those 2 kills. Deader finds the kill onto them, but already Elixir has found Deader now, and now all that's left is Lilu on that Ana. You already see that the point getting flipped over, and Jackson gets the double dash, just like that. EU Scrimbucks looking really good in the aggression, and they will be taking the first point here on Hanamura.
Yeah, Snubbull Gold did a really good job at first of holding that choke, but they let that Zarya slip through, and not only did she kill 2, I believe she also forced Dead Rift's lamp, which kind of screwed them for the rest of the fight following that as well. See if this Widow can continue to get any picks on Hanamura second, where I'd say she's a bit better. At least the sightlines are safer. They might be a little bit more limited, but it's harder to deal with her.
Yeah, we'll definitely see if Elixir is able to get any sort of pickoffs. You see EU Scrumbuck setting up their diving gauge, and already Elixir has found the pickoff onto Undergrid, switching over to the Widow of his own, so obviously a little bit of trouble there for the side of Snubbull Gold. Now the dive comes in from Wallen, trying to get that sort of high ground pressure here. But you see, Snubbull Gold sitting very comfortable until Jackson whips out the blade, able to get the kill onto Lilu thanks to help from Wallen, and now the kill is going all in favor of EU Scrimbucks. All that's left is Deaderf, and he dies to the hands of Wallen to Thos, and just like that, that's a pretty much full cap here for EU Scrimbucks. 4 minutes and 56 seconds, excuse me, in the time bank.
They didn't even build a nano. Because the monkey was either instantly bursted down by a Reaper or they won the fight. So the dry blade, a really good bubble comes in from Admaloria to block the sleep. But Yeah, just able to snowball that with ults with the Dragon Blade without Nano, which is very impressive from EU Scrimbucks there.
Yeah, definitely. And also worth noting that they also had the Genji and the Winston being dived together. Wall in the Thos was usually where Jackson was on that Genji, so that they were able to use that combination, be able to bring down the targets very well. So great synergy there from the dive targets. Now we use Scrimbucks have a chance to hold here, and right now on the composition, it's no surprise that right now they are showing the double bubble composition once again. This time with an Echo Soldier this time, and having Spadark on that Brigida.
Yeah, I think the Brig is, worried about something like a dive coming through. I think it's a little bit hopeful. I think typically teams do play Brawl. So you can kind of greed the Mercy, at least on first point. I really like the setup here from the Soldier, though. I think Soldier can do a lot of damage on Hunter. There's so many high grounds for him to play around and poke. And we'll see Snubbull Gold rolling with a Brawl without the Symmetra. Just going to be trying to cleanly rotate through these chokes and get onto point themselves, and then have the added benefit of Mayfreeze and Cass without having to sacrifice either one of them.
Might be good actually to have this Cassidy, considering that the enemy team is running out of Meloria now on this Wrecking Ball instead of on the Zarya. So now they have a double main tank dive composition. Kind of reminds me a lot about Paradise Tempest, who ran a lot of spam style with these double dive main tanks. So we'll see if EU Scrimbucks are able to use it into their Manor's hands and see if they're able to keep Snubbull Gold out. You already see the dive coming in here from Adam Meloria. A lot of damage pumped in, and Elixir is able to get that kill into Undergrid. Make that 2 here. Jackson able to get the kill on the Fex season. Just like that, that's another lost fight here for Snubbull Gold as EU Scrimbucks do a really good job so far at holding this.
Yeah, set pile driver nade. Really surprised that that actually only caught one person, but sometimes that's all you need. And they're going to be pushing into spawn here for these daggers. The issue that I think Snubbull Gold is finding, trying to charge Nano and it's not working, they're not taking the bait, is that Lilu has been on healing. She does have the beat, but you really need the utility of speed boots to get through these chokes. A great pick there from Undergrid. They need to be speeding in now.
Yeah, they need to be starting to move in. The mines are used here from Adam Meloria, and already you see Fezzig's dropping very low. Krillo will lose their mech and will die to Adam Meloria's mines as well, so that's already a big pick here for Scrimbucks as they start rallying, engaging. Adam Meloria's found 2 in this fight. The Blizzard is invested here from Nalin, but Jackson is in your backline, and he has a tactical visor to finish out the fight here. Scrimbucks holding once again.
Yeah, that was a lot of ults invested on both sides. Spadrak committing the rally to what looked like a one fight, but it forced out Window and Blizzard. Arguably 2 of the most important ults on the side of Snubbull Gold here. And so they force out the Nanovisor as well. We'll see if EU can continue to hold this now with 0 ults. They could just speed in and beat and get onto point here.
Oh, already a big pick off onto Undergrid thanks of Elixir. Jackson's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. He's scouting out the sort of situation. But there's the shatter coming out from Fezzig's, unable to get anything really massive as the rest of Snubbull Gold start falling once again. The bomb is invested from Krillo, unable to get any sort of kills with it. And still, Snubbull Gold having a little bit of trouble here against EU Scrimbucks. And the Scrimbucks just using their ults appropriately.
Yeah, a little bit of BM there from Jackson. But they're just really struggling to get through this choke. Not quite utilizing the speed in the way that I'd like to see them do so. And they're going to have a tough time, I think, getting a tick here.
Yeah, definitely. They still have a minute on the clock. They're building up this Deadeye from Undergrid, which could be a difference maker here for the side, but Adam Meloria's in the back line, and they have mines. Pile drives right on top of the rest of Snubbull Gold. Unable to get any sort of kills this far, but will get rid of Krillo's mech. Already a big investment there. Wall in the Thos also uses the Primal Rage, and Elixir's able to get that kill on the nail, and just like that, you Scrimbucks already showing to have a good advantage in this fight. Krillo gets back their mech, but Deadriff ends up dying to Jackson, and that's going to be another reset here for Snubbull Gold as they lose Krillo's mech once again, and Adam Meloria just rolls through. That's what you call a strike, my friends.
Another set nade there from, yeah, they are in spawn, wow. Yep. Another set nade there from Aiden and Admaloria, showing that really good synergy that we talked about. Not going to be able to catch Aiden out after he touches spawn door. He's going to be able to safely return to his team. Snubbull really just needs to speed straight to point and ignore them. Oh,
Oh, massive
that's
anti-nade again
taking
coming
the
out
lead.
from Aiden. They're working into their favor thus far. Spatter gets the kill on the Fezzings as well, and now there's only 7 seconds here. But Jackson has the tactical visor, able to get 2, make that 3. While into Thoughts will clean up the rest of the fight. And that's EU Scrimbucks taking Hanamura very convincingly and going to match point entering halftime.
Yeah, Snubbull Gold just I think they're just a little bit too caught up in trying to trade picks in the choke, which is exactly what EU Scrimbucks wants them to do. Right? That's where they're at their most limited. They can pump in damage from all these directions. Snubbull Gold just really needs to try to ignore them, speed straight through the choke, and then fight on the point where the point is a lot more advantageous place to fight for Brawl, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, EU Scrimbucks being able to take advantage of that, and Stumblegold having a little bit of trouble being able to figure out where they want to go here. But there's still a halftime to go through. They have that 10-minute break to be able to
Mhm.
establish if they're going to be able to figure out what they're going to be doing here in this series. When we come back from halftime, we're going to be seeing if Stumblegold can make the recovery or if EU Scrimbucks is going to complete the golden stage number 1. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 coverage. If you missed the match thus far, EU Scrimbucks has been a steel force up against Snubbull Gold, and so far, any strategy that Snubbull Gold has had has not been very effective. Bowsy here with Apathy as we head into our third map, which could decide the series here between EU Scrimbucks and Snubbull Gold. And Apathy, no surprise to see Snubbull Gold picks King's Row.
Yeah, they have been showing a lot of brawl. It hasn't been too effective, so I wouldn't have mind them just trying to change things up. But we are going to see King's Row here. Of course, brawl isn't the only thing that you can play on King's Row, though it is the most popular. And at least on defense, you don't really need the speed. So maybe I'd honestly like to just see them try to greed something a little bit weird, even like a Bap Ana. Not really seen too much, but if you're not gonna use the Lucio speed boost, you might as well use something like Nano Boost.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what these two teams come out, especially because EU Scrumbucks, we haven't really seen a stock standard brawl from this team yet. We've seen the Ryan Sigma, but we haven't seen any sort of Ryan Diva, Cassidy, May, Bap, Lucio. We've been mainly
Mhm.
seeing that double bubble. Last time we saw the ball Winston. So be interesting to see if they're able to adapt to that stock standard brawl. My guess is that they might be able to because this team has been really good thus far, but it's also worth noting that we haven't seen a lot of Adam Aloria on the Diva, so
Mhm.
we might not see that stock center brawl. We might see them come up with something to try and throw Stumble Gold off as they try to head into the map here.
I have a gut feeling that they're either going to play, if they do play Brawl, it's going to be a Ryan Zarya, or they'll just play Ball Pharmacy on attack because that is maybe deceptively actually better than Brawl. Uh, I know I'm saying things that people don't want to hear. I'm sorry. There are better comps than Brawl on King's Row, and Pharmacy is the one on attack. So we'll see what they go. I feel like Admaloria is going to be on something like Azaria no matter what.
All of
Just
Harmony.
because they seem like they really like Zarya, and I don't blame them.
All of Harmony tier just disgrace at you right now. They're
Yeah, I
all
know.
mad at you. But I mean, you mentioned that, and right now you see on the side of EU Scrimbucks running the ball Zarya right now with a soldier Genji, so they are not willing to conform to that stock standard brawl. The other side, for the side of Snubble Gold, they obviously want to try to go for that stock standard brawl, albeit without the Lucio. They want to have an
Hmm.
Ana Baptiste here, so we'll see if it works into their favor here. But definitely interesting composition. I'm not going to say it's not going to work, but it'll be interesting to see this sort of swap come out here from EU Scrimbucks switching onto a non-brawl composition for this map.
Yeah, Ana Bap is actually not that terrible on the defense side of a lot of Brawl maps. The only weird thing is you have to be careful about splitting that healing ultimate charge and having neither support build their ults in time. Uh, the Brig, I feel like, is going to switch once they see the composition, unless they just roll this first fight. And we aren't going to see a Pharah, but we are going to see a lot of poke from the soldier instead of that Pharah. Not taking high ground, though.
Yeah, definitely Elixir having that poke ability. Here comes Wallen with the pile drive in. No anti-nade follow-up here from Aiden, but that's a big wall coming out from Undergrid to try and shut out the ball. Beautiful bubble from Adam Aloria, however, to be able to save Wallen in his tracks and be able to keep that ball going. Great move there from the side of EU Scrimbucks as they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to try and push in. Charge comes out from Fezzik, trying to get that kill on the wall, and there's another wall comes out from Undergrid to try and block off the damage from the Zarya. So far, it's just a waiting game here for EU Scrimbucks, waiting for that perfect opportunity, trying to get those sort of big picks that they need. As the pile drive comes in once again from Wallen to Foss. No anti-nade used here by Aiden, and already Wallen falls very low. Undergrid dies to Elixir, but already the main tank is dead here for the side of EU Scrimbucks. Now Elixir has this high ground, however, so they are able to pile damage right on the enemy team, but Nailin able to get that kill onto Elixir. Very good job, very good play coming out from that Cassidy. And now you Scrimbucks probably need to play a little bit passively and wait for the perfect opportunity to push in again.
Yeah, they're going to just still keep going because they've already taken so much map control that even down players, they can force a lot of pressure onto Snubbull Gold here. Going to see them buy some time and some space with a really good high noon there, zone them out. Going in now with the tactical visor. They have a grab as well. Gonna throw that in, get 3.
Yeah, big graviton surge coming out from Adam Aloria. Aiden puts Skivalpin straight back to sleep permanently, and that's going to be a cleanup here from the side of EU Scrimbucks. Jackson gets 2 with that dash, and that's a team kill for EU Scrimbucks to get point A.
Yeah, this this ball comp is just so good because there's no way for Brawl to consistently get on top of them and contest these high grounds without then also opening themselves up to just brutal pile drivers from the ball. You know, he can kind of deny any rotations, and as soon as that flex support gets up on one of those high grounds, the fight's over. You could stall it out, but that fight is over once that high support's up.
Oh, Nano Blade comes out from Jackson, gets 2, make it 3, make it 4, make it 5! Jackson with a 5K Dragon Blade! Oh my goodness, you do not see a lot of those thus often. That's a full 6K from Jackson in that fight! Oh
Wow.
my goodness!
They do give him the 6, lower that bay for him and let him finish it out. And now they've won this fight using just 2 ults. Snubbull Gold going to be pushing back in with quite a lot of their own, but it's going to be tough to find a shatter. Just go ahead and solo shatter this Zarya. Don't worry about finding too many people. Just take out a big amount of EU Scrimbucks' damage here.
Yeah, Zarya is also pretty much the main tank power here for EU Scrimbucks, and they have to worry about that, especially when they want to try to contest that card. Immortality Field is used here by Dead Riff, and Elixir ends up burning it down here, but you already see a lot of trouble coming out here. Skvalpin tries to contest Elixir on that high ground, unable to do anything, and Fezzik, you can see, is looking for this shatter, but not able to use it at the perfect opportunity here. Trying to bait out the bubble, I think, from Animaloria, but loses his life for it in the aftermath. Banana Boost invested here into Skvalpin, but already under grid has fallen to Elixir. The sleep goes on to Wall into Thos, but still, it's just very hard here for Snubbull Gold to try and find any sort of stability. And now Elixir's in your backline with a Tactical Visor, gets both supports with that, and it looks like it's going to be a one fight here for the side of the EU Scrimbucks, and they will be getting that second point.
Yeah, Skvalpin's Diva Bomb not really able to stall anything out. They just have a tough time walking up to them. Just the amount of poke that Elixir is putting out on this soldier. They're just hesitating too much as they walk. Need to really commit to it, use the Diva Matrix to get through, and then get on top of them.
Yeah, again, it seems like you see them trying to bait out Animaloria's bubbles, as there is the grab coming out from Animaloria, and Aiden once again puts another person permanently asleep, and Jackson deflects the Deadeye. Oh, man. Snubbull Gold just not having a good time against this Genji as the blade comes out again. Make that one, trying to make it a second onto Undergrip, but the wall is there to prevent him. Will get that second slice anyway, and now that's going to be a clean fight win here for the side of EU Scrimbucks. They'll be capping the third point with 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the time bank.
You know, I'm an Ana player. I don't know how many hours I have total. I think it's around 500. Not to mention all the games that I've casted, watched, played in Scrim, seen other Anas. I have seen one Sleep Dart kill before today in my entire Overwatch career, which is like 4 years long with a lot of Ana involved. And we just saw 2 in one map. And that is just, I don't know. It's not really, it's not like impressive. I'm not saying that in a mean way because it's kind of just random. But it's really funny.
I mean, yeah, it definitely seems kind of funny, especially when it's like very rare. Sleep Dart only does like what, 5
It
damage or
does
something
5
like that?
damage. You
Yeah,
can't
it
do it
does
on
5
purpose.
damage. So you're literally burning down the target to 5 and then hitting them with that miracle sleep dart, which is working into their favor. But now it's of course Snubbull Gold need to try and recover themselves here on their attack. Looks like they want to try to go for those Winston Diva, not a common comp you see here on King's Row. Meanwhile, Scrimbucks, they're going to be running the ball Sigma with the Widow Genji. So, I mean, if Jackson's Genji ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think it's safe to say that he's been doing a lot of work on this Genji.
Yeah, we'll see if one of them switches to mirror this Widow. But I don't really mind that they're kind of just like, oh, this worked for you. I guess we'll try it too. You know, kind of trying to learn from what you Scrimbucks is playing and see if they can make it work as well. Gonna have maybe a tougher time without the ball though.
Big plays coming out. Fezzik ended up getting headshot, and Elixir will get that kill on the head on the Nailin as well. Now Jackson gets to finish off on the Fezzik, and really, it's gonna be hard for them to try and push this, considering how much sustain is on this high ground right now. Apathy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Elixir just free farming, just shooting at clay pigeons basically, completely uncontested there. Monkey not quite able to get up to her. I believe he was like rocked out of his jump or something. We'll see what
no.
they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, I think Fezzik ended up missing the jump, and then
Yeah,
Svalpin was hit by the rock, so they were unable to get both of their tanks up there. So
that's what
it's
it
gonna be
was.
interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the move is here. Stumblegold do have this nano online, however, from Lilu, and they try to invest it. Oh, but Fezzik gets slept by Aiden and then murdered by Diana immediately. It's been challenging here for Stumblegold to try and make an engage here. They're trying to protect their team, but obviously there's just so many angles right now that Scrimbucks are taking.
Yeah, and neither their support and their hitscan aren't really walking around through that high ground. They've got the ball to try to stop it, and here comes
Oh.
another Jackson Dragon Blade.
That's 4 thus far from this Dragon Blade from Jackson. Won't be able to get the full 6K again, but still a 5K will do. And it's just been challenging here for EU. It's just been challenging here for Snubbull Gold to make any sort of engage.
Hmm. Did they pop sights just so Jackson could see where
I
they were for
believe
an easier
so.
blade? That is such a funny ult combo.
Well, there's a all combo for your comp games. When your Genji's about to Dragon Blade, give them the sights, and then they'll be able to see where their targets is. Maybe
Or
get
Riptire.
yeah, Riptire Sights is
Give
also a pretty
Riptire
good one.
sights.
If you have Junkrat and Widow. Anyway, the fight coming in here. The dive comes in from Fezzik, and he gets slept again! Aiden the Sandman, bringing all your dreams to the site here. In this case, it's a nightmare for Snubbull Gold. Jackson gets the kill onto Nailin, and the kill goes on to Lilu, thanks to that mine from Wallendathos. And it's just been very hard here for Snubbull Gold to find anything. Elixir gets that 2K, and now it's only 1 minute and 30 seconds here for Snubbull Gold.
Yeah, they have not been able to get a clean engage. They're not really rotating effectively. Normally, you'd like to see them rotate through hotel, set up their supports, and then dive. But they're just kind of diving from main without LOS to their supports. And the Diva is not able to go with them either because their EU Scrimbucks Genji is just focusing the Diva down, trying to get her out of mech constantly. They're just struggling right now.
Flux invested here from Adam Meloria, looking for the perfect Flux opportunity. Lifts up 2 with that, the Diva and the Cassidy, as Svalpin will lose their mech. Undergrid gets the kill into Jackson, but still the picks are going in favor here of the Scrimbucks, with Dead Rift falling as well. And it's once again only a minute here for Snubbull Gold, and they are looking dire for answers.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They do have a bomb to work with. At least they could maybe try to clear out high ground with that and get a rear push. Make some space with this bomb. Right now he slept. Skavalpin has just been very focused this entire match.
Bomb comes out, is able to get 2! Big play coming out from Svalpin. Nail It also has the tactical visor, able to eliminate 2 as well. Snubbull Gold might have finally found the opening that they were looking for. After all that sort of struggles here, they look like they'll be able to establish themselves on the point. Wallendathos on the ball gets stunned out and killed here by Fezzik. And just like that, Snubbull Gold have finally found an answer to this. They will be getting point A here on King's Row, but just by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, they had to invest a lot of their best ults, and it took them a while to charge them, which is the issue here. Normally, obviously ulting to capture point is a very common strategy. The issue is they're dying so fast they're not able to charge them up very quickly. Need to be, maybe just playing for these ultimates instead of trying to all in every fight on the choke. Take things slower, let yourself build up these ultimates, and then push in like you did, just like that.
Oh, and Jackson has another Nano Blade online, gets 2 with that, make it 3, gets the 4th onto the Diva mech, and that's going to be another cleanup here for EU Scrimbucks. Clean and efficiently.
Yeah, and they're getting that like every third fight, in contrast to, the rare ultimates from the other side. I think he's going to minefield spawn, I think. Oh, decides the better of it. Okay.
Probably building up that nano again for Aiden so that they're able to use this nano blade a lot more. But Jackson's stuck on the high ground with Undergrid, trying to finish it out, and will be able to get that kill onto the Cassidy. Maybe also able to get the kill on the Dead Rift as well. Has to reload, however, and he's just going to back out of that. Good move here. But Snubbull Gold tried to push the card a little bit, but so far, it's just been a struggle for them to get any sort of sustainability.
Yeah, and they're just kind of idling at the choke again. They're not really attempting any alternative pathing. Obviously that's where the cart is, and that's where, the big street and the choke are, but there's deceptively like 2 to 3 other options that you can take, and they've just kind of been forcing the same choke over and over so far.
And Elixir's able to get that kill onto Dead Rip, but Phoenix gets that shatter and is able to eliminate Jackson, gets nanoed and slept by Aiden again. Again, the Sandman showing their stuff here, but still, Snubbull Gold starting to make an advance here. The Flux is